A massively underutilized character, consistently relegated to the B-list of superheroes, is finally given his own video game. Seriously, why was the Flash not afforded more platforms back in the day? Video game libraries were as saturated with superhero games as the cinema is with superhero movies nowadays. Even the goddamn Silver Surfer had his own NES game. The Flash, on the other hand, had to settle for two relatively unspotlighted adventures on the Sega Master System and the Game Boy. He's also the subtitle in a Justice League Heroes title on the Game Boy Advance, but other than that, there's little out there for the Scarlet Speedster. The Trickster has escaped from jail and has planted time bombs across the city. He's only revealed the location of the first one, so Flash, being the perfect guy to get something done in a time limit, has to make it to the Garrick Gallery on 5th Avenue, disarm it, and hope he can find some more clues from there. Your basic moves in-game are a punch and a kick attack. Kicking has a slightly longer reach, and punching is useful when crouching. There's more to the combat than that though, and it requires both buttons. So the up direction is utilized for jumping. This takes a little while to get used to, but thankfully the controls are responsive enough that getting a feel for it isn't too taxing, and there's not a great deal of precision jumping required, probably for the reason that the control system is a little unusual. You have two gauges on screen. The lower one is your health, which can be replenished by collecting these flash logos that drop from some enemies when you defeat them. The top one is your power meter, and there are two attacks that drain it. Pressing the A and B buttons together executes a spinning attack that you won't find a great deal of use for, but can save you when you're being ganged up on. More useful is your speed dash, which can be executed by pressing A, B, and a left or right direction. Your power meter doesn't automatically refill itself, but can be done by buying food from vending machines. You'll find dollars lying around. Collect these if you can, as buying snacks is the only way to keep using your abilities. Health and power don't regenerate after beating levels either. Most stages have a couple of different paths to take. There's little difference in the skill needed or enemy placements, but one thing I found happening a couple of times is, if you're on a higher platform, it's not always possible to see pits or traps below you, and it's not hard to tumble to your death. You make your way through the dozen or so levels based on tip-offs you get as to the location of these bombs. Once you find a time bomb, kick or punch it, which sounds like a really bad idea to me, but whatever, to disarm it, and the level's over. Some stages have a boss at the end, including Captain Cold and the Mirror Master, but these aren't much different from the regular enemies. The level variation is decent, even though settings are reused a few times, and all the scenery looks wonderful. You'll fight through art galleries, alleyways, and warehouses, as well as a particularly memorable stage where you're running after speeding trains. What's really cool about this is that it's not an auto-scroller. You have to physically run after platforms that are moving away from you. Quite an inventive little addition, and something you feel the Flash would be able to actually do. It's fair to say that the Flash is amongst the higher echelons of superhero game on the system. It's not without its flaws, but is so playable with a well-founded difficulty level. The music and accompanying sound effects are simply used but well done, and the graphics really are great. There's a lot going on in the background detail, but fortunately your character has a single pixel white outline so you can always pick him out. And enemies have a really satisfying flashing effect when you beat them up. The storyboards between stages have a series of conversations between Flash and Tina, with Flash getting more and more tired as the game goes on, culminating with Tina getting kidnapped. Overall, a very enjoyable piece of work. More of this sort of thing, please. Thanks so much for watching this video. The Kickstarter for the book is now live. Check the link in the description for how you can back the project and be the first to get your hands on the portable power encyclopedia, featuring more than 900 Game Boy game reviews and a whole wealth of useful information on the world's favorite handheld console. See you later on.